In fact, it's been 1 month today that I left the United States. Did not tell my family I was leaving.
Yeah,
They
that
would
that's
not.
what I was about to
They,
ask you. Yeah, how is your life going on in a different country at the age of
yeah.
34? Yeah,
Well,
right.
and I was I was locked in a situation where there was no freedom. I couldn't move, I couldn't breathe. It
Mhm.
was just stifling, and it had been that way for 5 or 6 years, due to some other circumstances. You can always go to my channel, you pursue, and I became and the um, a data management coordinator for a large city.
That's that's
They're
that's what I wanted you
they're
to
they're
talk
they're
about. Hello everyone. I have one guest with me today for you, and I know her for a long time. Like I have been working with her in her channel around a year, and I know her for around a year or more than that. And it's been a good experience working with her. And if she stays and lives in far away from our country, from where I am, still we have a good bonding. So I thought of bringing her into my podcast. This will be the first video which I'm going to post on my channel. So welcome to you, Claudia,
Thank you. It's
into
good
my
to be
podcast.
here. Thank
Great,
you. Yeah,
great.
happy to be here and join you today.
Great. So I want you to speak about your little bit about your journey. Like how did
Oh,
you come to start your YouTube channel and how the life is going on. So first of all, introduce yourself a little bit. I know about you, but I want my
well,
subscribers to know about you. Yeah.
okay. Well, my name is Claudia Carrabba, and I have been interested and on a spiritual journey a good portion of my life.
Okay.
And I'm about to start my 75th trip around the sun. So I'm
Mhm.
74 years old. So I'm not
That's
young, but
interesting. Yeah, that's great.
young at heart.
True.
But I've always had nudging from within that you can't really explain, but everybody I think knows. They have a knowing or a sense within them that there's something bigger than you or me out there working on our behalf. Now, I came to that conclusion probably in my late 20s for sure, but my
Mhm.
spiritual journey has been really all throughout my life. My YouTube channel, which is called Claudiacarabbaspiritadvisor, is born out of the desire to want to help people on their own spiritual journey to follow what
Mhm.
I consider moving in a direction of a closer walk with God, creator, source, Buddha, Yahweh, however, whatever term you use, it doesn't matter because it's all the same uh, source that's within you, nudging you along. And um, because it's taken my lifetime to
Mhm.
achieve certain, I mean, I have certain gifts and talents. We're all born with some,
True.
and we don't always know what that is. Some can speak and encourage and engage others, and some of us just love the world into submission, right? We just want to
Yes.
wrap our arms around you, right?
Yes.
But I was clueless about what that really meant to live a spiritual life, to incorporate that something bigger that's working on our behalf and that is actually an intuitive aspect of our nature. Everyone has it. There
Right.
isn't anybody that doesn't have that, but not everybody understands it or knows it. When I talk about that sixth sense or that intuition, it's that you think about somebody and all of a sudden they're calling you, or you're calling them and they say, "Well, I knew you were going to call," right? There's something there that we can't really put our fingers on it, but it's known as intuition.
Okay, lovely.
So my YouTube channel that is called Claudia Carrabba Spirit Advisor, is about that. It's going from being clueless to awareness, how we can, what to look for, because my own journey is what I talk about in
Right.
that channel. And then it just describes the things that many of the things I've been through. And I'm hoping that that touches a chord or a note or someplace within others so that they can say, well, I want to know more about that because I'm here. My entire purpose in my life at this point, especially, is in helping others to become inspired to utilize the gifts that you're given, to find them and to utilize them, seek them out. Yeah.
People, I will ask people to check out your channel. I will also give the channel link or the channel name
Oh,
in the
thank you.
description of my video. Okay, and tell me something about your you said you have not studied that much, like education part I'm talking about, but still you don't sound like you are not that educated.
On my own journey, uh, I was not. I have a couple of years of college, but I never completed anything, and
Right.
that's because my our circumstances in our household was, I grew up as a child with. I have six brothers,
Yes, right.
and it was during the Vietnam era, and three of them were drafted and
Oh,
called away. Now,
okay.
in a family of
Very sad.
eight children, now there's more than that now, but there were eight children when I was growing up. The oldest had his neck broken in a high school wrestling match. He became quadriplegic.
Oh, okay. So
So
sad.
I became the mother of the household. My
Oh,
parents were, my dad was working, my mother was trying to take care of him because that was a full-time job. And so
mhm.
I was responsible a lot for the younger children. And not exclusively. My mother was had her own difficulties, but she
Mhm.
relied on me a lot. I was the oldest daughter. So and I had stops and starts in school because of that. So each time he had to have 24-hour a day care. So
Right.
each time something happened, uh, then I got called away from whatever I was doing in my life to come back and take care of whatever else was going on, or him.
That's right.
And because he did go off to college, he was actually kind of a remarkable person in a lot of ways.
Mm.
So at the point where I went off into my own life, got married, and had a child, things were still going on. And so I would stop and start. And then at that point, my husband wasn't capable of
Mhm.
allowing me, really, he didn't want to take over watching our child, or even in the evening, so I could attend school. So it just wasn't, it never was in the cards for me. And I always just longed for that education but I'm here to tell you, it doesn't stop you if
True.
what you
Yeah.
want, you pursue. And I became and the um, a data management coordinator for a large city. Their
That's what I wanted you
their
to
their
talk
their
about. You know, that
their
point I
entire
forgot. Yes. My bad. My bad.
entire transit
Yeah.
the entire transit division, all 12 or 13 of their computer systems, and I
Mhm.
became the coordinator of that for a couple of years.
Mhm.
Now during that time, it was something that eventually they hired a highly educated person for that. But
Right.
I never, I just, I've always stepped in and stepped up to whatever it's an opportunity. Do not put yourself down. We have talents, gifts, and skills. And just because you don't have a piece of paper doesn't mean you're not educated. Life can educate
Right.
you. And
Right.
I progressed all the time. But I also knew when it was time for me to let go, and I wasn't afraid to move on. And lots of people get stuck in things because they're afraid to move into something else, afraid to take on the next challenge. Now, I'm here to tell you, there's a lot of years between that time, which was 70s and 80s, right? And now, which is I'm in my 70s now. And in fact, it's been 1 month today that I left the United States. Did not tell my family I was leaving.
Yeah,
They would
that's
not.
what I was about to
They,
ask you. Yeah, how is your life going on in a different country at the age of
yeah.
74? Yeah.
Well, and I did not tell them I was leaving. I just told them that they needed to wait and be patient, but that they would all be surprised as to where I was going to land. And I flew.
Truly right. Yeah. That's true. That's true. Even, I mean, I can't tell people like at this point of time when coming out of a city for many people, is a big thing, wherein you are making things outside of the country, which is itself a challenging. It's not that easy even think about. Yeah. So you're
No,
living your
no.
dream, I would
But
see.
well, I've always wanted to travel, and I
Yeah.
decided there is no time like the present. Now, there's a lot of circumstances that
Mhm.
prohibited that, right? Until you just finally have to just say, I'm just going to do it. And I did. So
Mhm.
I'm in South Korea. I'm in Seoul.
Tell me
Haven't
about
come from the.
your how did that happen? I mean, how did you come? Uh, I know that situation probably will be very bad for many people, but you tell me your
Hmm.
story of you
I,
traveling from USA. How did you come?
well, really, the point that I want to get across to people isn't where I went or what I'm doing here. It is that I follow an inner compass,
Right.
and I was I was locked in a situation where there was no freedom. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. It
Mhm.
was just stifling, and it had been that way for 5 or 6 years. Due to some other circumstances, you can always go to my channel,
Right, right. Yeah, people
Spirit
will know about
Advisor,
that.
and
Yeah.
start and go through. There's 200 videos there that tell you about my life step by step.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
my point is that the desire has always been there, the
Yeah.
curiosity, the wanting to travel. And so I'm here and I'm exploring on a regular basis. And I have a very fixed and limited budget.
And
If you want to throw a nickel in that pot, please
yeah,
do.
so if would you mind if I tell my viewers, would you mind if I tell my viewers about you
Oh no.
traveling with the amount?
Oh, oh, oh,
I
yeah,
will
how I
just,
got that
yeah.
ticket.
So many
Oh,
people may not believe that amount you got the ticket to travel from your country to this current country where you're
well,
staying, because many
it's
people complain about the money they don't have all the time. They can't come out of their daily expenses, their daily need, the family responsibility and everything. They can't go move out from one state to another state, wherein you are
well,
making way to live
you,
in another
you
country.
well, you feel trapped and you
Right.
feel stuck, right?
Yes.
And my guidance, I kept feeling nudged to just go ahead and do it. And I'm like, how can I do that? And so one
Lovely.
day I just said, I got this. It was like, well, just look it up. Just look up the fares, and you can tell the story. It's an inner nudging. This is that inner compass, that
Yes, awesome.
intuition that's talking to you. So you
Yes.
can tell them, I got my ticket on Christmas Day for
Yeah.
$19 from the
Yes.
United States to
One
South
nine
Korea.
$19. Yes.
One, one and nine. Yes.
$19. Yeah. So God has probably the different plan
Yes.
or had a plan for you to take you to from your country to a nearby country or neighboring country, but it is not that easy, I believe. Yeah.
Well, it takes courage
Right.
and curiosity.
You're
Now,
absolutely
I
right.
have been following the Korean culture for a number of years at that point. Now, I don't speak Korean. I'm faced with a lot of challenges,
Right,
but
right.
it is an exciting thing to break free from the things that you think about that are restricting you. And that's
Mhm.
why that inner compass, that intuition, that guidance is so important. That's where inspiration comes, inspired, coming from in here. It's not from up here. We're to hear, we're to feel it.
Yes.
There's something called this area that is around the heart, and you feel it and sense it there. It's our job to translate it with mind and get it done. Because
True, true.
by that time you've got the inspiration, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt. You're the only doubter in this thing. You know beyond the shadow of a doubt, you've got the universe has got your back. Do it.
Right.
Go do it. They're going to clear the path for you. So
And I also want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for getting some time, finding some time for this interview or this podcast. I had been trying for 2, 3 days, by the way, but finally today I got you here on my podcast, and I'm glad that I will ask my viewers to, go and check your videos, your channel as well. You provide some valuable advice, suggestions about life and way of living a life, which I have watched couple of videos which are really very, very good. So I want them to also to check out. I will request them to go and check in my video description where they will find the link of your channel, and they will definitely do it. All right. So with this note, I will say thank you to you, and I'll say let's see when we can come again with a different topic and different things. I want to know more about you and about your journey, about your lives. There are so many things to know.
stay curious, my friend.
You're
Stay
welcome.
curious.
I'll
Yes, indeed.
yes, and then we will have that discussion.
It's good to see you, my friend.